I'm sure everybody's a little toasty, and it's nice to see everyone in person. It's also really nice to see how tall or how short everyone is. You never know when everybody's in those squares. It's just always a really fun thing. But welcome, everyone. So glad to have you here. As I was thinking about tonight, I was thinking about what words there are to really describe all of you. And there are many. Resilient, strong, courageous, flexible, and incredibly talented. That's how you were when you came into this year. And we feel so privileged to have been on this journey with you, to get to know you, and now to meet you all in person and actually see you face to face. My name's Karen Cleveland, and I am lucky to be the president and CEO of Leadership Fairfax. So it is my pleasure to welcome you all here tonight. And thank you to the friends and family who have come. I know we had to limit it because of our theme and our inability to get a venue. So the drive-in theater is open for you to celebrate you. So I would like to thank a few folks. And by the way, you are the first fully virtual class. You all are aware of that. But I just want to record that to make sure that we never forget that you had an entire virtual year. So it's now my pleasure to present the Torchbearer Awards. Every year since our inception, we have given an award or multiple awards to the people, groups, or companies who have really gone above and beyond to support the mission of Leadership Fairfax. This year, we are changing the name of the Torchbearer Award to recognize the legacy of Betsy Schatz. That's right. So a lot of you have heard her name this year. Some of you had her as an advisor. Amanda had her as a mentor. And you all heard about Betsy. But what I've learned is that most of you didn't have the opportunity to get to know Betsy because she became ill this year before she got too involved. So I'm going to take just a moment and I want to tell you about the first time I met Betsy Schatz. It was in a board meeting, my first board meeting here at Leadership Fairfax. For some reason, there were some topics on the agenda that got a little heated. And Betsy, never shy, always direct, never mince a word, gave her opinion. After feeling dismissed, she raised her voice a little bit, and she made her points more emphatically, always based in fact and always backed up with true stories to support the direction that she's going. Well, the meeting went on. There wasn't a whole lot of consensus, and then Betsy stood up and she walked out of the room. And as she walked out of the room, she went like this, like, forget you all. And I was a little taken back by that. I thought, well, gosh, I don't know, that wasn't all that professional. So after the meeting, I got to thinking about the points that she made. And while I felt that she was a little, how should I say it, prickly, I decided that she was somebody I needed to get to know. So I reached out that evening. We had coffee the next morning, and it only took about a minute and a half before I got to know the real Betsy Schatz. So that prickly exterior is a protective outer shell. But what is she protecting? She's protecting all the people who she loves. Her families, and that includes all of us here. First and foremost is her close relatives. Her grandchildren were the light of her life. She was so grateful to have them with her. Her oldest grandson attended several graduations, often attended meetings, sometimes under the table doing his homework. And one of the girls zoomed into every meeting this year just to say hi and then tell Grandma how much she loved her. If you got to know Betsy, because of her loyalty and because of her heart, you would always be part of her family. always. Part of the Langley Residential Support Services family is here with us tonight. Stephanie Davidson from my class, the class of LFI 2005, and Maureen Gum. And Maureen, here we are. Maureen is an alum of both ELI and LFI, ELI 9 and LFI 13. And I know Betsy's sister was going to try to be here with us, or since we're filming, if she couldn't be here, Katie, we will send the film to her, because I know she's capturing as much as she can about Betsy's legacy. But here's the other thing about Betsy, is perhaps, I don't know this for sure, but perhaps one of you showed up this year like Betsy Schatz. Maybe you were in the program because you felt like you needed to do it, or you were told to do it. It was several years before Betsy admitted that she did not want to be in the LFI program. She was told by the chair of her board that she would do the program. So she showed up, but she didn't really work the program. And then before the second last class, she looked around, and she was filled with so much remorse that she had missed the opportunity to learn from all of her peers, from all of the leaders around her. So the joys of being outdoor. That's Betsy. Doing a drive-by, and her office was right down the street. So she made a pledge to herself and to us that for the next 20 years, she would give back to Leadership Fairfax in this community in any way that she could. And the next year would have been her 20th year volunteering as head of our selection committee, so she felt like she knew all of you, as an advisor, as a mentor, and as anything we needed her to do, she was there for us. So it is with wonderful appreciation and love in our hearts that today we will announce the first two winners of the Betsy Schatz Torchbearer Award. So I'd like to ask Stephanie and Maureen if you would like to come up and actually present the awards to our two award winners. We would love that. So our first award is presented to a member of our faculty. Our faculty are all volunteers. They are sought after trainers and coaches. This particular trainer is one of our newest members of our faculty. And when I say new, that doesn't mean yesterday. That means several years now, because our faculty members stay with us. We too have created a family, a support group of trainers and coaches that push each other to be the best that they can be. Well, this person is not an alum of ours, but she was introduced to us by another one of our faculty members who said, "You need to meet this lady. She's one of us, and you will never regret having her involved." So this year, Erika Elam did anything and everything that we asked her to do. She rewrote curriculum. She tried things for the first time. She has taught in all three of our programs, a minimum of one time every year for us. And we are so great. I can't even remember who introduced you to us, but we are so grateful to have you. And she travels the world training and still finds time to come work with us and be here. And she talks all the time about the great people that she has met through the program. So I know she is channeling Betsy when she is working here. So we are so thrilled, Erika, that you will receive the first award. Our second award winner really should be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award today. She has held every role possible here too, which also makes it extremely fitting for her to be receiving a Betsy Schatz Torchbearer Award. Juan Henry of Electra Marketing Printing, Fairfax. So Juan was a member, I don't even know how she first got involved, but she did 6 years on our board of directors. She was a voice of reason. She always brought a fresh perspective. She was an advisor on LFI for, 100 years until we had so many new people that really wanted to be advisors, she said that she would step aside. And then last year, she volunteered to be an ELI advisor. And when she did that, she said, you know, we could really do so much more with the advisors for ELI. Would you mind if I took over the group of advisors and created a little more of a training program and a little more structure so that we can actually support the ELI teams better? Juan is always here to help us with a step and repeat, a sign on the door, a quick print job, whatever we need, and always with a smile on her face. So we are so happy to have her as part of our Leadership Fairfax family and the recipient of the 2021 Betsy Schatz Torchbearer Award.
Good evening. And Erika and Juan, you are great to be the first Betsy Schatz Torchbearer Award. I am so happy for you guys. It is so good to be here and seeing all your faces outside, many without masks. I am just happy that we were able to do this after a year of being virtual. Congratulations, Class 2021, ELI and LFI, the greatest class ever. You are our trailblazers. You decided to take this journey that I know you had no idea where it was going to take you because we were in the middle of a pandemic when you signed up. I know that we did not know where this was going to take you or us at that time when you guys applied. You embraced the challenge. You embraced the journey, and you blazed the trail of virtual learning, virtual networking, virtual team building, and virtually delivering results that impact our community. Because of you, we have learned it can be done, and it can be done well. And it also can provide very unique benefits you don't get in person, like the new style, wearing shorts or sweatpants and a blazer or collared shirt. Having a minute commute to the class. And as Karen mentioned before, no one knows how tall you are. And those are just some of the benefits. Because of you, we are able to integrate and leverage the virtual learning platform where it makes sense in our program offerings for the future. Thank you for blazing the trail. As I look back on this past year, I know it has not been easy. And we've had some really tough times. We talked about them just earlier. We've had tough losses, personally and professionally, and in the LFI community. I am grateful that all of you, or many of you, got to know Betsy, or were touched by Betsy, or heard about Betsy. Betsy embodies the torchbearer. She is the torchbearer of torchbearers. She embodies it because even she, after her own class, when she decided that she kind of goofed off for that year, decided that she would embrace LFI wholeheartedly and put everything into it. And she did, up to her very last day, literally. You get what you put into it, as Betsy would say, and we got so much from her. Thank you, Betsy. You will always be remembered. I look out at all of you, and now that you have gone through your programs, I'm asking myself, what's next? What next are you going to do? LFI changes you. You may not realize it right now, but I guarantee it has. The people you meet, the connections you made and will make, the spirit and drive to give yourself to the community ignites in you. For some, you have already been ignited. Others, it may happen tomorrow or in a few months from now, or when that LFI alum gives you a call, asks for help, try and support an activity that they have, or just ask a question, and it will ignite, I guarantee you. Your LFI journey has really just begun. And given this exceptional year you just had, I look forward to seeing and hearing what exceptional things you will be doing moving forward. Thank you all for blazing the trail. Thank you for your contributions, participation, and feedback throughout the year. And thank you for having the courage, the leadership, and the faith to take this journey. Congratulations to all of you and your families for a job well done. Voices, right? Yes. Okay. Sorry, just wanted to make sure I had the cues. So now it is my pleasure to introduce you to ELI's two voices. There was a tie. First, I would like to introduce Amanda Meyer, Navy Federal Credit Union. Amanda?
So one of the things I wanted to kind of talk about, there's a lot of talk about ELI and LFI, and I wanted to kind of bring it back to something that was said before in terms of the lessons that you kind of learn at one point and you learn them later on in life. They just kind of stick with you. So my speech is a little bit about that. There are times where the day may seem a little bit impossible, whether you feel like you're not a good parent, a good partner, a good employee, a good student, a good contributor. But the truth is that those are just temporary feelings, and it's really something that you will get through and you'll pass. And as you do that, you'll come to discover all the things that you are capable of. Because the truth is, all of us in this class are capable of more than we're aware of. 4 years ago, I was a caregiver for my grandmother who had Alzheimer's. And during that time, I worked full-time. I was also in school for 5 classes at one point in time. And I found out that that was just a little bit too much for me to carry on my own. And that was something I learned in that time. My grandmother, who had Alzheimer's, had her own boundaries that were set. Some were set in stone, like Pepsi over Coke, the Mets, the Yankees over the Mets. And those were things that she felt comfortable with. That was her load. One of the things I learned the most about that was this time around, while I've been in ELI, working with the cohort, and then also in school, working full-time, was the lessons I learned back then. And that's something I think we will all come to realize from ELI are the lessons that we learned in how to balance everything. Our class, as has been mentioned, was 100% virtual, and there was a lot of challenges that we faced with that. From virtual school, I know some of my classmates aren't here, but we had some of my team would have their kids working with them for part of our project efforts. There was COVID-19 to deal with, virtual meetings everywhere, murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the rise in Asian hate, anti-Semitic hate. There's a lot to deal with, and no matter what, everybody else has had an opportunity to persevere. And that's just something that I want to remind everybody with this class, which is at the end of the day, there may be times where you don't feel like you can achieve something, but somebody else you have had an opportunity to inspire. And I guarantee that while you're in this program, you inspired somebody, whether it was your peers, whether it was an advisor or somebody that you worked with, even in your own job. These are the lessons that you can take from it. So in closing, just want to share with everybody with that is just to remember that the impacts that you have on people, you may not see right away, but it will definitely follow you through. So just want to leave you with my Leadership Housewives tagline, which is embrace empathy, lead with integrity, and advocate accountability.
Good evening, ELI class of 2021. Congratulations, we're here. I'm humbled for the opportunity to speak in front of all of you, and and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention just how ecstatic I am to see each and every one of you in person. No longer am I looking at a bunch of faces and squares like you were the Brady Bunch, but instead, I can see you all. We began this journey with Leadership Fairfax about 10 months ago, and it's safe to say that it's been a very unique experience. We are the first, and cross our fingers, hopefully the only class to go 100% virtual. That's brought its own challenges and obstacles that we had to overcome along the way, but we've shown a lot of resilience, and we were able to adapt, which I think really sums up in one word, class of ELI class of 2021. What have we learned? What did we take away this year? Well, first, we took away a lot of leadership skills. Skills such as project management, or negotiation, or the importance of storytelling and how telling people what you went through in your leadership journey and how you can inspire them. We've had a chance to look at ourselves through our DISC assessment, working with our mentors and our coaches, through stepping outside of our comfort zones to make sure that we have an opportunity to learn from each experience. And we learned a lot about our communities as we did our nonprofit project with each of the organizations throughout this year. If there's one thing that I can leave with you guys as you move forward, I urge you, nay, I implore you to make sure that you invest in yourselves. What do I mean by invest? Well, first, invest in your community. It was a resounding success that we had in each one of our team projects, and we really had a profound impact on the organizations we worked with, the clients they serve, and our community. As leaders, it is our job to step forward and make sure that we do everything we can to continue to build. The second place to invest is in yourselves, whether that's taking a class or a seminar in your respective fields and as leadership, maybe getting a mentor or a coach, eliciting feedback from your team members, reading a book, or maybe just simply self-reflecting on the experiences that you've gone through. And three, and arguably most important, investing in other people. Someone, one person at least, has taken the time, maybe a friend, your boss, your employer, they decided to invest in you. The fact that you took this class, this program, because your employers saw something in you and the potential that you have to move forward. Is it not right for us to pay it forward and invest in our teams or in someone else? I implore you to make sure that that is something that is top of your mind as you move forward working with other teams and leading other people. I'd like to say a special thank you to our Leadership Fairfax team. It was an arduous task moving from in-person lessons to a virtual environment. We appreciate your hard work and dedication on that. I'd like to thank all of our volunteers, not only who helped facilitate our classes, but the volunteers that are here today to make this commencement happen. And finally, to my cohort. I appreciate every single one of you, and it's been a remarkable experience getting to know you guys. Each and every one of you have the potential to be great leaders, and you've already shown that through this class alone. Remember as you move forward that through your leadership, you will always be an asset to any team or to any organization that you work with. I look forward to seeing all of your accomplishments and hearing about how you've progressed over the years, and I only wish you the best on your future endeavors. ELI Class of 2021, it has been my honor to be your class speaker and to talk with you today, and I thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Eddie. All right, ELI Class of 2021, are you ready? Okay, so this is how it's going to go. LFI, listen up, because I think you're doing it the same way. When your name is read out, I'm doing ELI, Karen's doing LFI. Just celebrate, wave, cheer. I think you have a Prosecco, maybe do a toast. And then your certificates will be delivered to you by Joan and Susan. So raise your hand. They probably recognize you, but just to make sure. The other thing is I'm going to apologize right now. I think I've got everyone's name. You do have a handful of harder names, but I practice. If I don't do so well, you can come up afterwards and let me know. ELI, are you guys ready? Ashley Bertoni Kaufman. Terence Bridges. Michelle Carter. Kate Carter. Emily Cook. Brett Fox. Alicia Galoli. Sulava Gautam. Michelle Jamshidi. Benjamin Kiesel. There we go. Candice Quifio. Melissa Marsh. Amanda Meyer. Megan Morris. Brooke Nielsen. Fatima Ogunbodi. Christina Palencia. Stephanie Pearson. Dina Qureshi.
Dina's here.
Jose Salmarone. Valerie Spinna. Alina Swartz. Eddie Thomason. Dan Yu.
And now we're going to meet the class of the LFI class voice in just a second. But I did thank yous earlier. And the only people I didn't thank were all the advisors and the coaches and mentors who were here. And our team, by the way, Susan and Innocentia, are they not awesome? I don't know what I'd do without them. They are really awesome. So now you're going to hear from the woman who was voted by your class to speak on her behalf, Nicole Oden from Accenture Federal. Nicole, come on up.
So first of all, hello LFI class of 21. Of course, the greatest class of all time. Woo! Thanks guys, they were primed to do that. And I know that's a standard line for every LFI class, but truly, this class, our class, is special. Ours is the first class to be entirely virtual. The first where LFI leadership had to pivot and learn how to successfully, and I am reading, sorry guys, I did not have time to memorize, God bless you, ELFI. The first class where LFI leadership had to pivot and learn how to successfully deliver an entire program. A program that is underpinned by the importance of connections and networking virtually. The first class that had to build a team, collaborate, and deliver a program, all virtually. And for many, this was the first time they had to create these connections and work with people and on projects in an entirely virtual way, which is not a simple thing. We are the COVID class. We not only survived, but we took an amazing opportunity that is LFI, and we thrived during an unprecedented global pandemic. We are truly the greatest class of all time. Thanks, guys. In all honesty, I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I was accepted into the program. Some of you may have felt the same, or maybe you already had familiarity through colleagues or your own participation in ELI, which is an amazing program with a lot of amazing people, which I've seen. From my perspective, this program has been an interesting and exciting journey that I've been privileged to be on with all of you. Our class consists of an amazing group of leaders, from Mary Kay directors with thousands of reports, to police officers working across various roles within Fairfax County, to clergy members, and to stellar professionals working in nonprofit and the arts. That's you guys. All of us from varying backgrounds, professions, and industries were brought together and given a unique opportunity to hear from some wonderful professionals, to learn more about our communities, ourselves as leaders, and how to collaborate more effectively. And we were given direct access to numerous local government leaders, able to meet, speak with, and learn more about their vision for Fairfax County. I am grateful for having had the opportunity to learn and grow through this program with and from so many amazing professionals. This was truly a special and differentiated opportunity. And in the course of this amazing growth, we were asked to dig even deeper and delve into our respective topics in order to deliver an engaging and informative program day for our peers. I hear you, I know, I'm almost done. And deliver we did. 4 teams gave their very best, despite the challenges of work and family commitments, and doing all of this virtually to provide exciting, engaging, and informative sessions. I have to admit, when our team number 1, the best team of the best class, was given our topic, sustaining a virtual workforce, I thought I had nothing really to learn or get from it, as my company has been a leader in this space for years. And long before the pandemic, working remotely was what I did 98% of the time. But I was wrong. There was a lot for me to learn. Stepping away from my singular vantage point and looking at this issue in the broader context of our community, the impact on various industries, jobs, and socioeconomic groups was enlightening and incredibly interesting. I suspect many of you had similar experiences, learning where you weren't even aware you had more to learn. And certainly we all deepened our understanding of leadership, community, and the importance of being a part of something bigger than ourselves. Should not have had that third champagne. While I am privileged and honored to have been selected to speak for our class, I know that I'm only one voice, and that each and every one of you have amazing insights and unique experience you've gleaned from our LFI time. But I hope I've captured some of what you experienced during this past year together, what we've experienced during this past year together. And I know that I waved off any further inputs yesterday, but genuinely, I hope that some of what I've said truly does resonate with you all and is similar to what you've also experienced here. So I feel blessed and lucky to have been a part of this program and have had the privilege of getting to know and learn alongside each and every one of you. I hope we will all carry this experience forward, continue to learn and grow in our roles as leaders, and sharing our knowledge and experience with others. I look forward to seeing your faces and your successes on LinkedIn, and hope that we'll have the privilege of continuing to know each other. Because after all, wait for it, we are the greatest class ever.
All right, LFI class of 2021, we're going to do the same thing. Got runners over here after they finish with their selfies, and they'll present you with your certificates, your diplomas, as well as your pin. And so while I still have the mic, wear that pin proudly, please do. The torch is a really important thing. You heard Eddie talk about paying it forward. That's what it's about. It's about lighting the way as a leader for everyone else. So wear it proudly. If you lose it, come see me. I can find you another one. All right, here we go. Class of 2021 LFI, Dawn Audia. Sally Ann Berg. Todd Billip. John Gustavo Blair. John? Rebecca Browne. Kevin Chadwick. Jamilah Dalton. Katie Davenport. Keith Edwards could not be here tonight, but we recognize Keith. Christina Francis. Dana Frank. Greg Freed. Marguerite Guarino. Kendra Hand. Rani Haspuru. Jennifer Hiltwine. Julie Isaacs. Chris Jones. Leslie Kane. Amanda Castle. Shannon Kelly. Cheryl Ann Lee. Alicia Liddle. Sean Merck. Mark Mitchell. Tiffany Moore. Enrique Rick Obano. Nicole Oden. Justin Palenskar. Justine Powell. Stephen Tarditi. Kathy Taylor. And last but not least, Erika Trammell. So we talk about the journey that you've been on this year, but if Sharon and Michael Ferraro, who were going to be here tonight, did they make it? They've never missed a graduation yet, and so we told them they could come. They usually walk around telling people, tomorrow, your journey with Leadership Fairfax really begins. So Kim talked about that. Your voices, the folks that spoke on your behalf, talked about what's next too. So it's time. About halfway through, Leslie Kane asked me, so what am I going to do after this? And I said, you're not allowed to ask me that until June. But now is the time. Now is the time because you're joining an august group of leaders, 2,300 leaders who are doing incredible things in our community. They're making a difference in their own businesses, in their industries. They're chairing boards of nonprofits. They're leading our government, both state, local, and at the national level. So you are joining this group of incredible community leaders, people who understand that it's one thing to lead, it's another thing to be able to see the world as it exists and figure out how to make your community, our community, stronger and sustainable. A place where everyone is welcome and everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Now just go out there and do it. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Cheers and good night, but you don't have to leave right now. But that does conclude the program. Congratulations again, and thank you for being here.
Reston Opportunity Neighborhood and the Neighborhood Ambassador Program is just one example of a number of supportive programs and resources that Cornerstones provides to families and individuals on their journey to a better life. Participation provides ways for residents in low-income neighborhoods to help lift up their voice and identify and prioritize their needs. These are the very same neighborhoods in which Cornerstones works to implement interventions and provide supportive care. Neighborhood ambassadors are active change leaders, problem solvers, and advocates for the change they and their neighbors want to see. Neighborhood ambassadors, resident leaders from the 5 opportunity neighborhoods, are integral partners, participating at every level of leadership in our opportunity neighborhood structure in order to identify and address social and racial inequities in our community. Saizana is a dedicated volunteer and passionate advocate for her community. She saw a need among the women in her neighborhood who might benefit from greater independence and inclusion into the larger community. So she began leading a free weekly English class at the Southgate Community Center.
Having the language is a good start to being anywhere, I think. It's a confidence building. Just to be able to say hi and bye in the language of amongst, the community that you live in, I think is crucial. When the kids come home from school, maybe they'll bring pieces of homework they may not understand, but at least they know, I too am learning like you. And it's a continuous journey for everybody in different scale. A lot of the women in the class have gone on to continue their education. Many are taking the GED night classes, and continuing English classes at the community college. I'm very proud of that. Many of them, some of them have come in with learner's permit when they started the class, but they've now taken that extra step of getting their driver's license, which is a huge deal. It's just a stepping stone to say, what else and what's next. It'd be wonderful, I think, if the community, individuals, families, the community together have the trust in themselves, that they have all they need to succeed. And that when they have that confidence to say, I know what I want, me, the neighborhood ambassador, the PCAs, the program coordinator, advocates, really the resource providers, we can say, we're here, we want for you what you want for yourself, and tell us how we can walk with you. And how the community can help each other, really just the encouragement.
With your help, Cornerstones can bring people together to harness the strategies, program expertise, and resources for those in need to provide greater community well-being for everyone.
On March 13th, everything changed for all of us. With the novel coronavirus pandemic escalating in the United States, a national state of emergency was declared. Businesses and schools across the country were shut down to limit the spread of the disease. Many of our clients were immediately impacted. Ms. Washington, a single mom of 2, worked in a store along Richmond Highway. Ms. Washington suffers from asthma and is at higher risk of catching the virus. She called our case manager scared. She needed to pay her rent and put food on the table, but she was afraid if she went to work, she would catch the virus and maybe die, while her employer would allow her to take a leave of absence. She would not get paid for her time away. Thanks to the support of our community, we were able to keep Ms. Washington and her children in their home until she felt she was safe enough to go back to work. Ms. Jones had a different story. Her children are grown and she lives alone. She has worked as a home health care aide for many years. When the pandemic hit, many of her clients reduced visits out of an abundance of caution. Ms. Jones received notice in mid-April that she would be furloughed until further notice. Her employer pledged to bring her back as soon as possible, but they could not afford to keep her employed. Even though Ms. Jones applied for unemployment, she feared she would not be able to make her May rent. She called Fairfax County's Coordinated Services Planning for help. They referred her to Good Shepherd Housing. Thanks to the contributions from many of our supporters, we were able to keep Ms. Jones in her home while she waited for her unemployment payments to begin. Today, we can report that Ms. Jones is back at work and remains stably housed. Ms. Samuels is one of our luckier clients. She's remained employed throughout the pandemic and she is thankful for that. However, she has an elementary school child and a middle school child who are both enrolled in Fairfax County Public Schools. When Fairfax made the difficult decision to only start back with distance learning, Ms. Samuels reached out to our office. With the support of our Children's Resources Program, she was able to enroll her children in the county's Supporting Return to School program. She was able to avoid making a difficult decision about keeping her job or staying home with her children. Here at Good Shepherd Housing, our small staff has remained agile. We have adjusted our programming to meet the dramatically changing needs of our clients. Thanks to the support of Fairfax County and our donors, we have been able to maintain our programs along with our plans to purchase apartments, buying and renovating 3 since March. We remain committed to increasing the number of affordable homes we can make available, because the need for our housing and services only become greater in a time of economic uncertainty. Your support makes that possible. Every day, our country and our community demonstrate our resilience in the face of adversity. We are all in this together, and together we will get through this pandemic.
Hello, I'm Don Frickel, and I'm honored to be the current president of Share Incorporated. Share Incorporated is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization dedicated to helping the less fortunate in Great Falls, McLean, Pimmit Hills, and parts of Falls Church.
Our operations are totally dependent on volunteers and private donations since we have no paid staff, no contractors, and we receive no government funding.
Thanks to the generosity of our donors and volunteers, last year we provided assistance to more than 1,500 households containing about 4,000 family members, mostly children.
We live in a very expensive area. My husband is a hard worker and I work too, but it's not enough for paying the bills.
My fiance was diagnosed with brain cancer, and shortly after that, when she was going through her treatment, I found out that I had a faulty heart valve and a bum kidney. Shortly after that, after I came home from the hospital, she passed, and it was just me and my son. What more could I lose? And it was my job next because of the recession.
Share's most visible activity is our food pantry and used clothing room. These facilities operate in donated space at the McLean Baptist Church.
It's a service that allows people to maintain their dignity. It's a service that they're not afraid to come and ask for help.
It's very helpful. Every month, like, I come 2 times a month because I really need the help.
Share currently provides 1,000 bags of food and 225 bags of used clothing to clients per month. Since virtually all of these materials are donated by the community, it takes a large number of food drives and volunteer hours to maintain these levels of support.
The thought of anyone hungry, particularly children, breaks my heart. So food is where I felt called to serve, and that's where I've been for the last 12 years.
Share provides financial assistance to distressed households primarily to ward off evictions and utility shutoffs.
They can pay part of the rent, but not all of the rent. Or they can't pay the water bill, but they'll pay the electric bill, and then sooner or later it catches up with them.
I got a phone call from one of the folks at Share, and they said, she said on the other line, she says, Tim, we'd like to help you get your gas back on. We had a little heater in the back, and that's where we'd bunker down at. And now that the house had heat blowing out the registers again, you take that stuff for granted. We all do, but when something happens in your life and you lose the basic needs, it's great to have someone that step in and help you.
Share operates a furniture program through which it provides donated furniture to needy families. Each Saturday, volunteer crews operate 2 trucks to conduct these activities. Last year, we made more than 500 pickups and deliveries, providing furnishings to more than 200 households, including about 600 household members, mostly children. Share provides rebuilt computers and printers to client families with school-aged children. This work is conducted by technically qualified high school-age volunteers.
More and more FCPS and other local area students have been requesting laptops because they need them for class. In fact, a lot of our classes have homework done online, so having a laptop is critical.
Our technology group also helps maintain our website and our client database. Share also runs a number of special events for clients, including food distributions at Thanksgiving and a major holiday event in December, including music, light refreshments, a visit by Santa Claus, and gifts tailored to family needs. We also distribute school supplies and provide haircuts to children of client families in August so that students are ready for school.
What's unique about Share is that we really get to know our clients, and so it's easy for us to help find resources for individual people rather than just general resources.
I really, really appreciate the help.
It was a hand up, what Share did for me. It wasn't just a handout. It's the difference.
From the canned food drives to the clothes that the clothing drive that they have to the furniture donations that we get, there are numerous ways that you can participate in the various Share programs and give back to the community.
I just want to say thank you and thank you and thank you, always, always, yeah.
Donations that we receive come from participating faith communities, individuals, local businesses, and institutions like the McLean Community Foundation. Just as important as funding, though, is our ongoing need for new volunteers.
Volunteering, it's just not all about helping other people. It really does have the effect of improving and enhancing your life in many, many ways.
When you help a family get back on their feet, you're helping the community because they're giving back. I really do believe that.
And it's very gratifying. It is. It's so gratifying to see people. What can I do?
If you think you might be interested, please check out our website or contact us directly. Share provides training and orientation for new volunteers. Thank you very much for supporting Share.
Hi, I'm Joe Fay. We're out here setting up for Hot Meals distribution. We do this every night, 365 days a year. It's getting a lot more interesting and a lot tougher, but the need's the same and in fact growing.
Last March, as COVID-19 swept into our community, there was never any question that Facets would remain on the front lines to serve our neighbors. People's lives were depending on us. In 1988, Linda Wimpy met a homeless family in need of food. One warm meal turned into hot meals every night, and Facets was born. Over the years, Facets' role in Fairfax County has grown dramatically, but the mission remains the same: a community working together to alleviate the suffering caused by homelessness, poverty, and hunger. These are challenging times for us all, but especially for our most vulnerable and marginalized neighbors. Since March, Facets has had to adapt fast to our changing reality, and you've stood beside us every step of the way to meet the greatest needs of our community. As people worried about their next meal and how to put food on their tables, we increased hot meals distributions and expanded our food assistance to include grocery deliveries and weekly community-based mass food distributions.
We're out distributing food this morning.
Hi, I'm Jerry Caruso. I'm helping out tonight. We just fed hundreds of people and appreciate everything that everyone is doing for Facets.
Really grateful for all of the volunteers that come out to help us. For we serve over thousands of people when they provide us the food to serve it.
With our homeless and unstably housed neighbors facing considerable risk during this crisis, we were able to increase our outreach activities and expand our work to manage an isolation and quarantine shelter.
Here at our site, we make sure that our guests have 3 full meals a day,
plus snacks. They have clothing that is purchased new or gently used and donated from our community partners. Also, our guests, they feel safe here. They feel warm, they're out of the elements, and they are safe and secure here at our site. We are so happy when they let us know that they have found a job or permanent housing or learned how to do something new. It's so encouraging to us. It's just as encouraging to us as it is to them. And again, I am so proud to be a part of a team like this, so happy to see the results, and so thankful for you and all that you've done to partner with us and make this possible.
Often you hear that families are just one paycheck away from being homeless. For the people Facets serves, it can be one circumstance, a loss of a job, an illness, a car repair, or any unexpected expense. During this crisis, as families struggle to keep roofs over their heads, we have been here with financial assistance to prevent evictions, keep utilities on, and pay medical bills.
We are so happy that we are able to lend a helping hand during this time.
As students and their families face significant struggles and worries about virtual learning and meeting basic needs, Facets is there ensuring that they receive the support, supplies, and tools they need.
Through this support from our community and everyone working together, we can ensure that the most basic needs of all families are met,
and that our children have the support for virtual learning during our daily homework help program, and that they have the supplies they need in order to succeed and to break the cycle of poverty. From all of us on the ECD team, thank you for caring, and thank you for your dedicated support.
Every day of the week, Facets program staff are out in the community delivering food, cleaning supplies, and PPE as they provide case management and make connections to life-changing resources. And as temperatures drop, the doors to our hypothermia shelter remain open 24 hours a day.
This season at Hypothermia, we're doing things differently. We're here 24 hours a day to make sure that none of our neighbors have to sleep outside during the cold winter months. When someone comes to Hypo, we try to make the situation as comfortable as possible for them, understanding that they are coming in from being homeless, from living in cars, tents, and the woods. It can be really emotional. We know that we may be meeting some of our guests at the worst moments of their lives, so we are here with a warm, safe place to sleep, meals provided by our amazing faith partners, and case management to help them connect with resources on their journey to stability. Thank you so much for providing the donations and support we need to operate Hypo this season. What you're doing is amazing, and it's really helpful for all of our guests that stay at Hypo this year.
One of Facets' greatest strengths has been the ability to convene the community to rush to the assistance of those experiencing hardships. It is people from all backgrounds joining together to meet the critical needs among us. It is at these times that you find out just how much more you can do than you thought you could. That is the magic of community.
Thank you to our community for helping our neighbors experiencing homelessness, poverty, and hunger.
We couldn't do this without you.
During these times of challenges and uncertainty, it means so much to know that you are all there for the children, families, and individuals who are struggling and need our help.
You are bringing so much promise, relief, and hope. From all of us at Facets, thank you.